You added 4 guys yesterday. Can you touch on those 4 guys a little bit about what they bring and with
If I
the two,
get through this, yeah.
and with the two high school guys, I guess what brought them in early?
Well, we had those guys penciled in, and with that new rule of announcing and all that, now they got to get here. All right, that's important, but we fully expect that. Tyson Mayava from San Diego, linebacker, stud. He's been a guy that we've been on for a while, committed to us. Wanted to come in early. I think the first one to ever do that from a twin. He's been here. He's been here quite a few times and was in our camp. Really liked him. I think he's a very good player. Got a chance to actually watch him play and enjoy and like the way he played and just his energy. This guy's going to be he's a great fit for just the mentality that we have. Will Adams was one that we kind of got on a little bit late, but with depth at that position really fills a need, and he's a good player. And he's a big old guy, very smart, has his degree from Auburn, and when he got here, immediate connection with our guys really fit him. And so we just felt like, hey, this is an opportunity for him, for us. It's one of those win-win situations that you hope, and to get him here, and then just as far as who he is, the mentality fits right away. Ced Wilson came up on a visit, really liked him, thought that, and we had actually seen him for a while, and getting a guy in here mid-year is big, to have a chance for spring, summer, and then to get him prepared to play. And really just liked he and his mom both when they came on the visit. I think they felt like this was the right fit. He's definitely a player, and to have him here and get him acclimated to what we do in the Boise, Idaho, and all that is big for us. Some teams made a run on them late, and we were able to hang on to them, and that's part of recruiting. So I think those 4 guys, and they'll be here early, help us with our depth, and that's still, as we get this class. From a few years back, there's still some missing pieces, number-wise, that we have to keep making up. And these guys will help us immediately as far as being here, and then this class that we signed, get the rest of these guys in here to keep growing that depth in those areas of competition.
You had Ryan back out there practicing at the practice the other day.
Yeah.
What's kind of his status, and what do you have to do with him? I guess you look at what goes on with quarterbacks around the country.
Right.
How do you make sure he's happy and knows he's got a role and that kind of stuff?
Well, I don't assume he's sad right now. I haven't. I really don't. I haven't. I really haven't felt that way. I think he's just trying to get back. So being out there and having a chance to throw, you put the pads on and throw in the pads because it's different when you do that and have your helmet on. Really, it's just part of his process of getting back. He's not ready and wouldn't be, but he does feel. You can tell he's feeling that just excitement and energy to be back out there at practice, which I do think is helping him mend. But we get to spring. The thing about it is, you guys know this, there's some areas that are established over time. We try to go back to square one and let everybody have an opportunity and go compete, knowing that there's guys that have made plays and those type of things. But we have to do that. And Finley will be healthy by spring ball, and we'll let those guys go back out there and compete. Alex Owen today, we had a little Bronco Bowl. Last year the defense won, the offense won today, and Alex played really well. So there's guys waiting for their opportunities, and this spring will be another chance for those guys to go out there and try to seize that and get themselves on the field.
I don't know if it's right or not, but he looked a little bigger, Finley.
He's definitely done that. When you're limited with your leg work and all that, during practice, we don't just have our guys stand there in practice. They're either working out at practice or they're working out in the weight room, and he's kind of been on the Muscle Beach program. When you're talking about all upper body, we kind of joke about the Muscle Beach, but he's put on some weight. He's thicker up top. I think that's his maturity. It's also the shoulder they had surgery on. That's getting stronger, and he's getting more comfortable with that, so he can put on more weight. As far as lifting, which has grown his body. Yeah, he looks good. when you see him out there, and we're excited about that. You're seeing a guy that took advantage of being hurt and building himself up, and he's an intelligent guy, as we know. That's going to show up when he gets out there and actually plays again.
Getting back to Northern Illinois, what do you think is the greatest challenge that they present?
Well, I think I really do. I mean this. I think everywhere. I don't know from the offensive standpoint, assuming that their quarterback is healthy, Graham, they obviously have a lot of options. They can run the ball, throw the ball, so we've got to defend, all those things, and they've got, some good skill players out there that can catch it. Defensively, same. They're going to have something in there that we probably haven't seen, I would imagine, but they're solid on defense. They don't give up much. Special teams is an area where their kickoff coverage and kick return units have been actually pretty good statistically, and the guys they have on there. So I don't know exactly what the weakness is that I see on tape. I just know they play hard. Now I think we can take advantage of some things, and we've got some good players obviously as well. I think a lot like us, to some degree, the pride and the winning, those things will show up with both teams. And I think it'll be very competitive when it comes to that. And in bowl games, what do you see? You see conditioning shows up out there, tackling shows up, special teams, something in that area shows up, and then your turnovers make big differences, even more so, and there are probably some sloppy ones that show up in games like this if they're not focused on. But it's when you watch them, you're impressed, and you can see why they've had success.
And that season's just about over. Can you put closure on the Antoine Turner thing at all? Whatever happened with him, or what the deal was?
I can't really put any closure on it. I don't have the final on all of it. There was an academic issue that came up. It's not finalized yet. When it is, we'll be able to talk about it. It's unfortunate.
Is he done career-wise? I mean, he can't play
I don't
down the
know
road.
all that. I know he's done. He's not going. He hasn't played, and he won't
Right.
play in the bowl game. But I don't know every detail at this point because it's not finalized. But it's, for him, he's still going to school, still working, still doing a great job, and you guys know Antoine. He's a positive person. So a negative situation still hasn't affected him, and he has really done a great job of handling his business, and we'll see what happens.
With Byron Howell and Matt Miller moving to Montana State, I guess, how have you seen them improve in their coaching aspirations this season, and kind of how proud is this program of the coaching pipeline they've put in?
Well, I've seen them scrambling the last few weeks or the last few days, trying to do what we're asking them to do, and then get themselves prepared to go to Montana State. There's just a lot recruiting. I remember that. I remember transitioning. I remember being a young coach, and it happened here, but those guys are going to do a very good job. The one thing with Byron, he's done this for a while as a graduate assistant. He's really worked himself into where he's at. He's very smart, detailed, all the qualities that you want, and really gets along with the players and understands recruiting because he spent time at it. And to me, I think that's a great hire for Coach Choate. I think it's a great fit for Byron, too, to get himself an opportunity to go in there and to coach with Jeff Choate and to be there. Matt, he's a little bit new. His journey is, he's kind of on the fast track of football. He's not that he's not capable, because he's very bright. He's one of the smartest players I've been around, and really picks things up and just has a maturity beyond his experience at this point. But he was welding and ranching about 5 months ago, and we called him up and said, "You still thinking about doing that?" He's like, "No, I want to come back." And we kind of figured that, let him go do his deal and see if he wants to come back, and he had the itch, and gets an opportunity, which I think is a great hire by Coach Choate as well. However, so to answer your question, yeah, I'm very proud. It's one thing, our coaches, I fully anticipate people talking to them. I would expect that. If they weren't, then I would be concerned about the guys we have on staff. What they choose, and for those two young ones in particular, that's a no-brainer. And the thing I respect, they both asked me my opinion, and I'm like, you need to go. And that's exactly what they've chosen to do. So to get some more Broncos out there in the coaching profession, to be able to help young guys out, and it happens to be coaching, that's what we're all about. And even for these guys that don't when they leave here and they're not going to play at the next level, then our mission is to try to help them get an opportunity in what they want to do, and these guys are doing it.
I think, at certain point in times late in the season, you said obviously you guys look at what you're doing and evaluate yourselves and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys have had time to do that over these last couple of weeks. And more importantly, how important is a win here in this bowl game to springboard a pretty young team or a team with young pieces to the future?
Yeah, well, it's part of our goal. It's been thought out before we ever get to the bowl game. It's thought out about the entire process that you go through in a season and the off season. Win our conference, we didn't do that. Win a bowl game is up there as well. Why? Because that helps springboard you into the off season. It helps motivate you and give you confidence in the off season to prepare yourself to go back and win your conference and try to get back in that bowl game and win again. It's also the last time that this team will be together, and you want to end it, on a good note. So wins are huge. They all are. But going into the bowl game and playing a team like Northern Illinois, hey, we did a little research and showed our guys they don't know much about them. I'm sure they don't know much about us. And it's fun to get to know the teams you're going to play. At the same time, it's still ball. You want to go out there and you want to win. And it's for your teammates, for yourself, and for our entire program as we move into next season. It makes a big difference.
You told like the state flower of Illinois, or what kind of
What's
research?
that?
The state flower of Illinois, or what kind of research?
Well, we showed them the size of the school. We showed them where it was at. We told them that Dale Holste's sister, our equipment manager, graduated from there. And so we had some fun with it. But at the same time, it's important, I think, for our guys. It's educational. Get to know, where these guys are from. Midwestern team, blue collar team. Their motto is the hard way. So you can get a pretty good idea of the mentality of the type of guys they have there. And really, when you're going into a competitive situation, you want to know those type of things. Hey, here's the information. Take it for what it's worth and use that however you need to use it. And we try to do that with our guys as much as we can.
You see a lot